What's up? How's she going?
This week on iSletunes, we'll pay a little tribute to the beginning of fall, a bigger tribute to island great George Antoniak, and we'll chat with El Niue knowledge keeper Julie Pellissier-Lush ahead of the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. Yous ready, PEI? Let's get her done! Hello, Prince Edward Island. I am Adam Michael James, and you are listening to iSletunes for the week of September 24th, 2023. This is lucky number 7 in terms of episodes, and I want to thank all of you who have reached out to me to tell me you're enjoying it. It certainly makes me want to keep doing the work to pull all of PEI's music in one place and get it out to y'all every week. Interestingly enough, I'm going to start where I started. Drea McDonald was my first ever interview guest 6 whole weeks ago when iSletunes began. If you missed that, the abbreviated podcast version is on episode 1, but our full video interview is available to you as a Patreon subscriber, as are my chats with Joe Chevry of LaFunk and just Lenny Gallant and Patricia Richard from Sivrin and Matelot. $5 measly a month and you can watch this stuff. You can't even get a McDonald's value meal for that anymore. I mean, come on. Oh, right. Back to Drea. She released her first studio record in 2008 after a few unofficial collections. Her most recent album, Lucky, was certainly lucky for her in that it netted her the 2016 Music PEI Award for Female Solo Recording of the Year. But I'm not playing you anything from those albums. I've made my choice based on the fact that the autumnal equinox was yesterday. That's right, fall is officially here. And when you think of falling, admit it, you don't just think of leaves. No, I don't mean the kind of falling you do when you take a header once the sidewalks start getting icy. I mean falling in love. And who hasn't, or at least wanted to? Drea McDonald and the Wildebeerds are going to tell us about it from her 2013 In a Heartbeat album. It's Falling in Love is Like That on iSletunes.
One step forward and 2 steps back. Falling in love is like that. Too much feeling like a heart attack. Falling in love is like that. Head is aching but it just won't quit. Falling in love is like that. Wondering if this could be it. Falling in love is like that. Never mind the aching in your heart. Don't know where to go, don't know where to start. It'll beat you down, it'll bring you back. It's falling in love is like that. 2 weeks falling and it's raining still. Falling in love is like that. The constant rain can't kill the thrill. Falling in love is like that. If the world ends now, we'll have lived in love. Falling in love is like that. And you think that could be enough. Falling in love is like that. Never mind the aching in your heart. Don't know where to go, don't know where to start. It'll beat you down, it'll bring you back. It's falling in love is like that. Never mind the aching in your heart.
Somewhere Soon with a jazzy little number that's literally a number. It's called 2, and it's from their 2018 demo disc. Somewhere Soon? How about Somewhere Now? They sound like they're ready for prime time to me. So it's probably good they're working on their debut album. They're on Facebook. Send them a message and tell them how much you want to hear it. A little encouragement never hurts. Somewhere Soon combines different flavors in another way. The group consists of both non-binary and queer members. The bassist is from Colombia and the drummer is Korean American. Talk about diversity. Before I forget, was it just me, or did that track remind you of the soundtrack for a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving? Where's the turkey, Chuck? Where's the mashed potatoes? Where's the huevos rancheros? Okay, that last part was from a different Peanut special, but work with me, okay? Now I'm going to get a little serious on you guys. This past week, PEI lost one of its favorite sons, George Antoniak. He was from Summerside and played with bands like Storm and Ram in the 70s, moving on to Ought to Be and the Minglewood Band in the 80s. In 2007, he was awarded an ECMA for his musical contributions to East Coast musicians. But those of you familiar with his work, don't worry, I haven't forgotten. In 1974, Franco-Ontarians Marc and Michel Lalonde were on the island working as part of a theater troupe. Before long, George was one of the musicians they recruited to form the band Loup-Garou, which combined the hot prog sound of the time with francophone sensibility. The result was Loup-Garou's self-titled 1976 album. Yes, they changed to Garaloo eventually, but that was after George had left the band. You're going to hear a cut from that album, and then more of George's guitar work via Scott Parsons, whom George mentored. Full disclosure, I just played Scott last week, but recordings from George aren't that easy to find, so we're going with it. It's Isletunes' tribute to George Antoniak, starting with Ah, toi belle hirondelle, which translates to Ah, you beautiful sparrow. It's George's guitar and vocals as part of Loup-Garou.
Dans son léger plumage
Scott Parsons and Jupiter Wise with George Antoniak on guitar on iTunes. That's a cut from Scott's Live from Mahogany Hall album, which was recorded live in Bern, Switzerland in 1996. I talked to Scott the day after George passed, and he told me that the band would often just let George riff as long as he wanted while performing, because his guitar solos were that inspired. You just heard an example of that. George Antoniak, you did Summerside proud. Coming up, 2 Brads are better than 1, and digging up buried truths for the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. Roy McCall began singing when he was 15, and he performed with the Blue Diamonds in Ontario. The Bedeck native recorded several albums, including 1968's This Mighty and Wicked Land. In 1973, Roy made a splash with Shores of PEI, which was written to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the island joining the Confederation. Perhaps it's appropriate to play this considering we're in the 150th anniversary year, but we're not going to do the 1973 version. In the mid-90s, if I have my chronology correct, Roy released Cradle in the Waves, a 14-track collection that included a then-new version of Shores of PEI. Thank you to Tanya Bernard, who played piano on this album and also conducted me through performances of Beauty and the Beast and Jesus Christ Superstar. Lumiere says hello! It's isletunes, meeting Roy McCall on the shores of PEI.
And there's friends there that I long to see, just waiting there for me on the shores of PEI. It's a long time since I've been home, got the urge to roam, and the time has passed me by. Just to hear those mighty waves roll in and meet my friends again on the shores of PEI. How I miss the redness of her land, a given gift to man, and it's still her way of life. Where the farmers work the fertile soil, they're happy there to toil near the shores of PEI. And there's friends there that I long to see, just waiting there for me near the town of Summerside. Just to watch those fishing boats again bring their lobsters in on the shores of PEI. If you're traveling through the Maritimes, be sure you stop and rest at this favorite place of mine, where you lazily watch the clouds roll by, sunbathing in the sand on the shores of PEI. At Centennial time in PEI, all the people here, they honored her with pride. Confederation has gained her many friends. Let's raise a toast again to the shores of PEI. And there's friends there that I long to see, just waiting there for me near the town of Summerside. Just to watch those fishing boats again bring their lobsters in on the shores of PEI. Just to watch those fishing boats again bring their lobsters in on the shores of PEI.
Hey, it's Eric Broadbent in the isletunes studio, and you're listening to isletunes.
Says that all I'm giving her now is 6 kisses, but I'm sure she knows it's all I gave her before. You could be my mister and I will be your missus. It never even crossed my mind what they afford. She doesn't even offer a particular reason. She turned 25 and it's a holiday season. We're both a couple users, so we try not to show it. I'm using her, she's using me, and everybody knows it. She tell me that she loved me when I know she doesn't mean it. Our union was a simple case of lust and convenience, 'cause we were both scared to spend another Sunday morning alone. This kind of story doesn't always wind up with an ending. It just goes on and on, there ain't no sense of pretending. We'll reach a pointless compromise with no trace of conviction. 'Cause we are both too lazy to go through with such a mission. She says that all I'm giving her now is sex kisses. But I'm sure she knows it's all I gave her before. You could be my mister and I will be your missus. It never even crossed my mind, girl, what they'll for. And anyways, it costs some money just to reconnect the bone.
Just felt a need to sex things up a little after all the solemnity with some Sex Kisses by Nudie from his 2013 Remember This album. It was his first solo effort after disbanding Nudie and the Turks, whom Nudie formed on a lark in 2005. After playing outside a George Jones concert, the band got to meet the country great. The following year, busking outside a venue got the attention of Willie Nelson's band, a nice foreshadowing of Nudie playing Willie songs during Music PEI's Perfect Pairing series earlier this summer. And if you're wondering why Nudie, it's a nod to Nudie Cohn, the Ukrainian-American designer born Nuta Kotliarenko, who created the glittery costumes Hank Williams, Elton John, and even Elvis Presley were known to wear. Speaking of sparkle, it's time to delve into a rock block of an artist who brings some 70s, 80s sparkle to his group and solo work. Brad Milligan launched into the island music scene with the Brad Milligan Band, which, upon the addition of guitarist and songwriter Griff Arsenault, morphed into Arsenal Mills. That's a portmanteau of sorts of Arsenault and Milligan while we're on the origin stories of names. But bands disband, which spun Brad off into a solo career with his Getting Better EP that dropped this past June. So prepare for a double dose of Brad and listen for his Eagles influence in the tunes. We might as well go in order, so here's Arsenal Mills' 2022 single Give It Up, a little ditty about letting go of toxic relationships, because we've all had at least one of those, right? Let's give it up for this week's
iTunes Rock Block.
too far. There's no use of wishing on a shooting star, 'cause this is it. Yeah, you'll never forget who I am. You're always screaming with nothing to say. Like some freak, you always want it your way. But this is it, you can bet that you'll never forget who I am. Well, I'm sick of all the time I spent just trying to get you better, get you on the mend. The last time I saw you, you said I'd never understand. Take a look around, and I'll bet you're missing me right now. Yeah, I bet you're missing me now. Yeah, there's nothing left for me to say, and as I turn and I walk away, I know you'll be missing me. 'Cause I'm sick of all the time I spent. I'm trying to get you better, get you on the mend. Yeah, the last time I saw you, you said I'd never understand. Oh no, I ain't fooling around, 'cause I bet you're missing me now. I know you're missing me right now. Oh, I know you're missing me. Yeah.
Yeah, so now what? Bet You're Missing Me Now from Brad Milligan's solo outing, Getting Better. I bet you're going to be missing iTunes' This Week in PEI History segment. Guess we'll find out, because I don't have any historical entries for you this episode. Sometimes the well comes up dry, but we'll see what we can scoop up once we get into October. Coming up, an accommodation you won't find on Expedia or Trivago, and getting into some truth and reconciliation with El Nue knowledge keeper Julie Pellissier-Lush. Elvis and Melvis have two things in common off the top. Their names rhyme, and they both hail from Nigeria. What were the odds they'd end up on Prince Edward Island at the same time, working together as producers? But that's exactly what happened. And while they can each boast tracks of their own, it's their combined efforts we're going to focus on right now. It was hard to pick from their many singles, but I've alighted on this one. Let's make a call to Elvis and Melvis, featuring a P, I hope I didn't butcher that, sorry if I did, going to voicemail on iTunes.
Yo, sorry I missed your call. Leave a message and I'll hit you back.
Hey, I kind of just called to hear your voice, so I miss you. I've been thinking about you, and I've been thinking about our love and how much I miss your touch. I miss being around you. I should hang up. What am I doing?
Yeah, all of my actions, overreaction. I just hope that you find it in your heart and forgive me, baby. Yeah, all of my actions, overreaction. I just hope that you find it in your heart and forgive me, baby. So baby, will you stay with me and live with me, my girl? I give you the world, give you the world, the world. Would you stay with me and lay with me, my girl? Give you the world, yeah, the world. I represent represent the lover boys. And trust me, there's a lot of us tonight, and we gon' make a lot of noise until the neighbors call the cops tonight. I represent the lover boys, and we gon' make a lot of noise tonight. Trust me, there's a lot of us, and we gon' make a lot of noise tonight.
I see you complain, now I must change. The way you move your body, my shorty, you bust brain. And I heard you got a man, I know you don't trust him. Let me enter your life, she say, can you contain me? Baby, I ball like Tom Brady. Old head say that I do it like Tom Tracy. All these songs for you, I'm going crazy. See, I've been working on the floor like the Navy. I hope you realize, only see your truth, I don't see your lies. I hope we alright. All the girls, I don't feel the vibes. I hope you realize, only see your truth, I don't see your lies. I hope we alright. All the girls, I don't see the vibes. I represent the lover boys, and trust me, there's a lot of us tonight, and we gon' make a lot of noise until the neighbors call the cops tonight. I represent the lover boys, and we gon' make a lot of noise tonight. Trust me, there's a lot of us, and we gon' make a lot of noise tonight.
Isletunes, featuring Elvis and Melvis, featuring a P, with soul piano. Boxer the Horse was a quintet whose sound earned comparisons to the Kinks and indie rock band Pavement. They put together an EP in 2008, leading to being named the best new band in Canada by CBC Radio 3 after the release of their debut full-length album, Would You Please, in 2010. Alas, their second album 2 years later ended up being their last, but that's the beauty of music. It's always there for you to enjoy. And that's the beauty of Isletunes, resurrecting tunes so you won't forget them. I made reservations for you, so check into Shea Boxer, Hotel Song. But sorry, I don't do continental breakfast, because that would mean getting up before noon. I mean...
In an old hotel at an old wooden desk, there's an old man with a cross hanging down at his chest. And he licks his fingertips, and then he turns the page to a very old collection of stamps he's had since he was my age. He sits there all alone with not even the friend of a cat, waiting by the phone in his Devonshire Regiment cap. And people often call to ask if there's vacancy for two. He says there's no one here but me, still I'll reserve a room for you. Working for the rule book when there ain't nobody else to hold on to. Go! Pedal your privilege away, son. Don't you be one of those kooks. Daydream into the noose, a decent excuse and a black woman to help out. People often call to ask if there's vacancy for two. He says there's no one here but me, still I'll reserve a room for you. Well, if I was young and stark, you would have fallen on your knee. Well, I sing songs about the war, toss a coin to the monarchy. But I'm so selfish, because I do what I think's fit. And hell, I'm no Elvis. If it's fit, I'm gonna shake my hips a little bit. And people often call and ask if there's vacancy for two. He says there's no one here but me, still I'll reserve a room for you. Reserve a room for you.
material things. Wealth enough to dim the stars. From those days we bear these scars. Comrades in the spirit wars, broken heart that makes us whole. I will never forget what I already know. We all have a common soul. Remember the time we all were free. There was no distance between you and me. The power of God renew our souls, like light pouring out from an empty bowl. Comrades in the spirit wars, broken heart that makes us whole. I will never forget what I already know. We all have a common soul. Comrades in the spirit wars, broken heart that makes us whole. I will never forget what I already know. That we all have a common soul. Oh, a common soul.
The inimitable Don Ross, stretching back to 1992 with Spirit Wars from his Three Hands album. Given that many of Don's works are instrumentals, I thought it might be different to highlight a song featuring his vocals. And given that Don is Scottish and Mi'kmaq, I thought Spirit Wars would be a good lead-in to marking the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation this Saturday, September 30th, in observance of the cultural genocide First Nation children were subjected to. We'll shine a light on that truth through music in a moment. But before we do, here's a look at some of the musical performances happening around PEI this coming week, some of which also have to do with that truth. Tuesday, September 26th, the Ross family Kaylee is at the Guild. Leon Gallant and friends are at Stanley Bridge Hall, and Nick Donoff is at Harmony House. Wednesday, September 27th, it's the Chasen's Kaylee at Stanley Bridge Hall, and the Kaylee in the City at Jack Blanchard Hall, and that's going to be there every Wednesday until November 8th. Thursday, September 28th, Michael Pendergast and the Tom McSwiggan Kaylee are at Stanley Bridge Hall. Fiddler's Sons are at Hillcrest United in Wood Island. And Island Jazz featuring Roland Beaulieu is at Baba's Lounge. Friday, September 29th, Ross family is at the Irish Cultural Center. Rachel Beck is at Harbor Front. And the East Pointers Gula Hala Festival featuring Grass Mountain Hobos, Mi'kmaq Legends, Rose Cousins, and more at the Rollo Bay Fiddle Festival grounds. Saturday, September 30th, Richard Wood is at Stanley Bridge Hall. The Sound Series 14, which is an experimental and electronic musician set, is at the Kirk of St. James. Looking into next week, October 1st, it's the Festival de la Chanson du Grand Ruisseau featuring the Chad Matthews Band at Mont Carmel Parish Hall. And at the Eastlink Center, it's the first annual Treaty Day celebrations featuring traditional Mi'kmaq customs, games, dances, songs, stories, art, and more. October 3rd, the Ross family Kaylee is back at the Guild. October 5th, it's Island Jazz featuring Dan Dwarin at Baba's Lounge. October 6th, Le Funk is at Street Feast. And Lawrence Maxwell does his tribute to Merle Haggard at the Harborfront Theater. October 7th, the Ellis Family Band is at the Scott McCauley Performing Arts Center in Summerside. Tara McLean is at the Confed Center. And Dreams has their debut gig, which is also a benefit for kidney cancer research. They are a cover band, but originals are coming, and they're going to be at the Malcolm Darrich Community Center in East Royalty. Now, as you hopefully know, September 30th is the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. So I wanted to mark that here on iTunes. And what better way to do that than to talk with Onue knowledge keeper Julie Pellissier-Lush. You cannot do a search on PEI Indigenous anything without her name coming up. And so she had to be here. I'm so happy that you're here, Julie.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me. This is really an important day and an important meeting for us.
Hey, I feel like I've known you a long time already. Now, your credits are like yay long. You're an actress. You are an author of My Mi'kmaq Mother and several more books. You wrote the poems that became the basis for the Mi'kmaq Legend show. Where do we even start? Maybe you can talk to us about your role at Olnue, and we'll go from there.
With Olnue, I am the knowledge keeper, which means that I am the one who was asked and selected by Olnue to be the voice in different committees across PEI, to be the teacher and sharer of teachings and culture and knowledge in different community organizations, different government organizations. I go and do cultural workshops, and I have cultural sensitivity, cultural knowledge, and cultural teachings that I provide for different places to make sure that they're working on gaining a better understanding of who we are as Indigenous people here on PEI.
Why don't we talk about your music? Because you are featured on several albums, not just as a writer, but as a performer.
Yes, we have been working very, very diligently since 2011, working with elders, working with drum groups, trying to learn the old traditional Mi'kmaq songs and chants and dances for our young dancers. And it takes a lot of work and a lot of time. Like, we'll dedicate usually our winters to working with elders and working with drum groups and asking them to teach us new material and being able to share that. But it was, it's hard work, and being able to learn a new song is one thing. Being able to learn a new song in an old language that a lot of us aren't really familiar with. We want to be, and we're trying to be, but we're not 100%. And to be able to learn this and be able to perform it, not just in front of non-Indigenous audiences, but in front of Indigenous audiences who do know the language. And you really want to make sure that you have your pronunciation, your pauses, and all those other things right, because it's so concrete and it's so solid that those little nuances are also, you're not just learning a word, you're learning what that word means to a whole group of people, and how the connotations, the intonation, how you're saying it, how fast you say it, how slow you say it, all means something different. And so we are learning that, and we had our first CD recorded this past winter, on the coldest day in February. It was absolutely freezing, but we got it done, and now we put our name in for an award with Music PEI, and we got it.
Yes.
Community Contributor of 2023. And I have just submitted a few entries into the ECMAs.
Awesome.
So under children's and under Indigenous. So I'm hoping that we have an opportunity to let these little ones just shine with the work that they've accomplished on these tracks. It is at the Indigenous PEI store on Grafton Street.
Yep.
And I just read on social media that they are going to be closing their doors at the end of September.
What?
But they're going to keep their online store open until they find a new location.
Good. Well, the album, I forgot to ask the name of it.
Sing, Dance, Drum.
Okay, and that's at the Indigenous PEI store. So
Indigenous
go get it.
PEI store, and you'll see on the front cover we have like 30 young people sitting on Cavendish Beach with huge smiles of all the accomplishments that they have, and we did it professionally. Like, we had the case done professionally, so you open it up and you see more pictures of our young people, and then the lists of songs. It's a beautiful piece that we're super proud of.
We've got, as we said at the beginning, the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation coming up. Is there any local music that gets into that? Do you feel like there needs to be more in general and towards the day?
Well, in my opinion, and I'm just saying that from what I've seen, the TRC day is really more a day of reflection, a day where we are going to have the flag lowering down at the government buildings in the morning. And it's a day just to sort of self-reflect on what it means to you, what it means to your community, what, if you're not from the community, what it means to you to be an ally to the community. There's so many different things that are a part of that. And then all of a sudden the very next day is Treaty Day, and that's when the flags get raised at the government building, and we are having a half-day Maui at the East Link Center where you can come and dance with us and sing with us and celebrate, and there's going to be feasts, and there's going to be artisans set up so you can come and buy stuff right from the artisans. So it's going to be a big and amazing day, and that's where there's going to be drum groups, there's going to be singers, there's going to be music, there's going to be feasting. So the TRC day in itself is really, I find, more of a somber day, and I think we might incorporate a little bit of traditional drumming during the event in the morning, but the next day, the Treaty Day, is where we're just going to come out at 110 and invite everybody and anybody to come and join with us and be with us and share and celebrate in Treaty Day.
You had recommended to me Dee Dee Austin. We're going to play her Buried Truth track in a little bit, but before we get to that, gotta have this lady here. So I was looking over some of your stuff, and as we talked about it, we decided we're going to play a track that you're going to have to explain because when I first looked at the title, I was like, what? MMIWG2S. So would you like to set that up for us?
Oh my goodness, yes. There was a group of women in a basement that would share our stories and our feelings and our emotions, and then finally the government stepped in and came with note paper and took notes on all of our thoughts. And the first thing that really came out of all of these meetings across Canada that I was a part of was our missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls in Two-Spirited. About 4 or 5 years ago, we were asked to create a song that would become a song that would ensure that these voices, these spirits, would live on and they wouldn't be forgotten. It isn't something that I can say, many, many years ago, this was an issue. It's still an issue today, and so this song was created as a way to make sure that the dialogue kept happening, that we don't let this disappear. We don't let these women disappear. We keep fighting for the truth. We keep fighting for them to be found. We keep fighting for answers as to how to prevent this horrible tragedy to keep happening and replaying over and over and over. So we need to continue to be able to, as a musician, as an artist, be able to create something that in some small way will keep that discussion happening.
And we want to remember, and it's so important that you're doing it through music.
Exactly.
This is MMIWG2S here on iTunes. This has been Julie Pellissier-Lush. Thank you so much. I'm so honored that you're here.
Thank you, my friend.
They were strong, and someone out there did them wrong. I don't know why this hurt won't end. It just keeps coming back again. Yo hey yo, yo hey yo, yo hey yo, hey yo hey yo, yo hey yo, yo hey yo. Think of us now and then, and pray this tragedy will end. Think of us now and then, and pray this tragedy will end. Today's the day we shall say our story will not end this way. From our past, this I know. Things have to change even if it's slow. Yo-ay-yo, 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 yo-ay-yo.
Think of us now and then, and pray this tragedy will end.
They scrubbed our skin with a wire brush. They broke the boundaries of all trust. Forget the language our parents taught us. 'Cause when they're done, you won't recognize yourself. They cut our hair, they scarred our skin. They tried to break the child within. They cut our hair, they scarred our skin. Our hearts, they ached with pain so hard to bear, as we longed for our parents' loving care. No love was shown, no kindness there, only unearned shame and great tears of fear. Way highway, hey highway, hey ah, hey oh. Way highway, hey highway, hey ah, hey oh. Hardwood floors laid throughout this place. The workers here, oh, what a disgrace. They were attempting to wipe our whole race. Feelings of anger, grief, and shame. They cut our hair, they scarred our skin. They tried to break the child within. Yeah, they cut our hair, they scarred our skin. Yeah. Our hearts, they ached with pain so hard to bear, as we longed for our parents' loving care. No love was shown, no kindness there, only unearned shame and great tears of fear. Only unearned shame and great tears of fear. An open grave reveals a hidden past. Buried truth revealed at last.
Dee Dee Austin with her single Buried Truth that unearths the horrors of the residential school system forced on so many First Nation children. Dee Dee's bluntness in taking her great-grandmother's experience at the Shubenacadie Indian Residential School in Nova Scotia, the only such school in Atlantic Canada that ran from 1923 to 1967, and turning it into this haunting song is remarkable in and of itself. What's even more remarkable is that Dee Dee, a member of Abogwit First Nation, was only 15 when she recorded the track 2 years ago. You go, girl. As for Julie Pellissier-Lush, our conversation extended beyond what you heard here in this episode. But worry not. Our entire interview, captured on video, will soon be posted to isletunes' Patreon page. As I mentioned before, only $5 a month gets you access to all the expanded videos and some exclusive footage of live performances, at least as I'm able to edit and post them, because hey, I'm a one-man band over here. But I'd like to thank new members Andrew Boyer and Adam Gallant for signing on. If you want to join them in supporting iletunes, make your way to patreon.com/iletunes. Another way to support this podcast that plays nothing but music from Prince Edward Island artists is through its Indiegogo campaign. Donate a little, or a lot, and qualify for some special rewards from my own creative catalog. Go to Indiegogo.com and simply search for iletunes. My thanks also go to everyone who has contributed to that campaign so far. Okay, now, if any of you are still running up against phishing warnings and blocks when going to isletunes.ca, please let me know. I've had a couple of chats with GoDaddy, with whom I host the site, and they did some twiddling, and they tell me everything should be okay now. But if it's not, clearly I have more work to do, so email me at amj@isletunes.ca or leave me a message at 902-807-4250. Those are also the ways to contact me if you want to leave a comment about the podcast or leave me a recording of yourself saying your favorite island catchphrase. This week's offering was by Irene Doyle. Say hi to honey for me, Irene. Summer is over, and so is iletunes for the week. Next week, we'll boot up October by getting louder with some LGBTQ representation. We'll chew some cud, and I'll sit down with yet another island artist for a chat. I'll leave you to guess who that is, because as of this recording, I'm also guessing who that is. Give iletunes a like on Facebook, where, among other things, I post where to buy links for the artists I play. Those links can also be found on isletunes.ca. Musical contribution to the iletunes theme by Kaylin McCauley and John Hashem. Show concept by Rocky O'Neill. I'm Adam Michael James, and if you see me out putting up iletunes posters during the week, say hi. I thank you for listening, and I'm grateful to get to bring you all PEI music all the time. Spread the word. Be good, and if you can't be good at it. See you next week.